Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. And it is always a pleasure to read with you. I hope that you are ready to read and that we would have a fun time reading today. So let me say thank you for being here. And yes, that was our check to make sure that we are heard. So, yes, we can be heard, which means that we are all ready to go. Okay, let's just give a few minutes for persons to join us. And then we'll begin. So what I want you guys to do is to type in the comment section where you're from. That would be nice. So we can type in the comment section where you're from so we can see where you guys are from. And we can know what language you speak. And so we can tailor our reading to meet you even better once we know what language you speak. All right, guys. So tell us where you're from in the comment section, guys, so we can know where you're from. And so that can help us also in the decisions that we make when it comes to teaching you reading. So we're glad to have each and every one of you here. We thank you for joining us. Those of you who are joining via TikTok, those of you who are joining via YouTube, everybody is welcome. Thank you so much for being here. So, those on TikTok, please tilt your screen so that you are able to have a better view. Tilt your screen for a better view experience. Those on TikTok. And thank you for being here. Thank you so much for being here. So let me see you guys type in the comment section saying where you're from. Remember, when you say where you're from, that would have to give us a better idea of what your language is, if English is your first language, or if you are learning it as a second language. And therefore, we'll be able to accommodate you guys more. All right. So let me say thank you so much for being here. Um, for those, sorry guys. So for those on TikTok, we'll play some matches too in the meantime. So, hey guys, thank you so much for joining. And today we're going to obviously be reading about hurricanes. Hurricanes. So remember, we have already debunked it. Last time we spoke about hurricanes. We spoke about what they are. We spoke about what hurricanes are and all that. So today we are going to actually be just reading about hurricanes. We're going to practice how to read about hurricanes. So please, guys, type in the live where you're from so I can have an idea where you're from. You know, that would help me a lot with um, when I'm using English to really help to solidify it for you. Um, yeah, so please type in the comment section where you're from, guys. Those of you who are on TikTok, please tap the screen. Thank you so much for tapping the screen. You know, that would do a lot for the channel. Right, so hi to everyone on YouTube. I know that you're wearing and ready to go, so we're going to begin. We're definitely going to begin. If you guys are ready, say ready. Say ready in the comment section. That would be good, guys. Say ready in the comment section if you're ready. Okay, so we're going to begin our reading. So last time, I should actually go back to what we read last time, just to give us a sense of what we're going to be continuing reading this time. For those of you who were not here last time in our reading, we read all about hurricanes, specifically about the timing in which hurricanes occur. That was one of the things that we read about. And we also read about where hurricanes originally form, and we said that they are formed in the Atlantic Ocean. So normally these hurricanes, they come off of the coast of Africa. Those of you who do not know, that's where they come from the coast of Africa. And then they come to our region here in the Caribbean. Okay. So that's how we get hurricanes. So if you are not familiar with that, now you know that that's how we get them. So if you are not familiar with that, please let me know so I can please let me know if you are not familiar with that. Guys, let me know. Were you familiar with that? Let me know if you are not familiar with that. Come on, guys. I'm not seeing you guys active in the comment section. All right, but we are going to begin. So what we'll do first, we're going to be rereading this part of the story. And remember, this part of the story that we're going to be rereading, it's actually what we have done last time. So we are not going to spend much time rereading it. We're just going to read it fluently. For those of you who are very good readers, you'll be able to go through it very fluently. Those of you who are not, then I'm just gonna help you to call the big words or the challenging words, or if you want to call them the difficult words, I'm gonna help you to call them. Some of them are still underlined. Once we are done calling them, then we are going to just read through, okay? So let's get to pronouncing the difficult words. So our first difficult word is the word you. Sorry about that, guys. ER says Num, and then OUS says us. So this word says numerous, numerous. And remember, numerous means when you have many things together. So when you have many, that's when you'll use the word numerous, numerous. Okay? When you have many things or a lot of things, that's when you say numerous, numerous. Our next word is tempestuous. So you can see the same OUS like in numerous. We've already learned that. Says us. And we have est. This is an ending for words that are superlative adjectives. So we have tem, est, you, and us. So that word is tempestuous. Tempestuous. Okay, tempestuous. It may be a word that you're not so familiar with, but basically the meaning of it is something that you would be familiar with. When something is tempestuous, it simply means that it is stormy, or it can speak about something that is wild, or something that is lively or uncontrollable, something that is very heated or turbulent. You can refer to it as tempestuous. Okay, this word says tail. The E at the end is silent, the A says A. So in this word, we hear tail. And this tail is not like the tail as in the animal tail. This tale is like a story. So this tale refers to a story. This tale refers to a story. All right. Let's see what other word might be very challenging for you. So our word of the day is actually the word huh, e, and then remember e at the end, silent, just like the word tail, and the e says e. So this part of the word says cane. So we have hurricane. This word is hurricane. And that's our word for the day because we're actually studying hurricane. Okay? Hurricane is the word for the day. Now, our next word, Ture, says chur in English. So it makes a CH sound with UR saying chur. And the A is going to say A. So here we have nature, nature. So this word says nature. We add the S at the end and we have natures. All right, let's continue looking for the bigger words. Remember, this is just a review. And the reason for this review is so that you guys would know what we were doing and how we came to this. Okay. Hi, Clinton. Thank you so much for joining. How are you doing? Our next word, it's not a big word. However, it is a word that if you're not careful, you may not call it correctly in English. The EU in this word says U. All right. EU in English can make more than one sound. We can hear U, we can hear U. In this one, we actually hear the sound U. That's the short U sound. B and R together, brr, oo, brew, brew. We add the ED sound, and the ED here would make the sound D. So we'll say brood, brood. Okay, remember ED can make many different sounds. In this one, we hear oo. So we hear brew, ood, brood. And this word, it may be one that you're unfamiliar with, but very simple in meaning, right? So when something is brewing or when something has brewed, um, our word to describe it, our word that we would use as a synonym or word that we would use as the same meaning would be like when you have boiled something, when you have soaked something, right? So whenever you say you're brewing something, you have either boiled it or you have soaked that thing. Okay, so that's our word, brewed. When you boil something or you have soaked it, brewed. Let's see for our other difficult words. We have more difficult words like this one right here. So this one is the word hun, dr, and ed. 100, 100. We add the S at the end, and so we have hundreds. We have hundreds, hundreds. When we use the word 100, we are actually saying that we have 100 things. We have 100 things, like in the case of dollars or money, we can say we have $100. We can say we have 100 people at the shop with us. We can use it in so many different ways. 100 would actually refer to the number 100. And to write 100, we would write 1 and 2 zeros. 1 and 2 zeros. That's how we would write the word 100. The number, sorry, 100, not the word, the number. All right, guys. Okay. So what is our next difficult words? Next set of difficult words that we have would be, let's see. So we had this one as a difficult word too, but this is a very easy word. It's just that a lot of persons sometimes do not know that EAR together in English, that's a small word that says air. And this air is like the air that you use to listen. That body part that you use to listen to someone is called your air. And so air, EAR together. There are many other variations where you would find 3 other letters like ERE. So I'll just include those so you can learn them. ERE also says air. You also have AIR, like air, as in the air we breathe. Okay? And you still have air like the tortoise and the air or the hair, whichever one you pronounce it as. This is ARE. So air is seen and represented with different set of letters. So it's up to you to learn the letters that can represent air in English. All right. What other word do we find difficult? We find this one difficult too. This may be another one that you might find difficult. And in this one, the Y makes a sound like I saying eh. It's a short I sound is what we're hearing there. We hear eh. When Y is in the middle of a word or it's at the end of a word, a lot of times it would make the sound eh, or it will make the sound I or E. Whenever it makes those sounds, it's actually making a vowel sound because the letter I, the short sound, whether it's a short song or the long song, it is a vowel. And because it's a vowel, we are hearing a vowel sound. And so you would want to ensure that you remember that Y is used as a vowel most of the times in the middle of words or at the beginning, sorry, at the ending of words. So we hear a, st, S&T, mist, and then the I says e, and the short we hear ease, ease. So here we are actually hearing miss, stir, ease, mysteries. However, in English, because we are putting the word together, blending it, the ER would develop into a schwa sound. So it would not say mysteries. It would say mysteries, mysteries. Okay. So it's going to cut the sound short. Okay. Rather than you hearing you hear a short ness in the sound. Okay. Let's see it. So this word says mysteries, mysteries. Go ahead and say the word again. Mysteries. And it's a word that you should learn by calling it because this word, it is not fully pronounced as it looks. Okay. So you should try to learn how to call it. All right. Our next word S and W together makes the song su, INR, or l, and ing. Our word here is swirling, swirling, swirling. So we can put su together, and then ling together. Swirling, swirling. Did we give the meaning for the word mystery? Did we give the meaning for the word mystery? Did we give the meaning for the word mysteries? So mysteries are actually something that maybe might seem impossible to understand or explain, or it is something that is very difficult to understand or even explain. It's like a puzzle, all right? A mystery is like a secret or like a puzzle. It's a question, it's something that is unsolved, all right? Think you got that? All right, if you get it, that's good. Thumbs up. Let's see what other words might be difficult for you to call. Another word that might be difficult for you to call is the word hat, because in hat, the A is actually silent here. So it does not say A like in years. In years, we hear the ER say A, but then in hat, we hear the E silent, sorry, and the AR says R and T. So we hear art, heart. And this heart would be like the spelling for a surname, like the surname Hart, like Kevin Hart. Surname, yes, the way that it is actually pronounced would be like this. However, you're going to notice that whenever you're spelling, that you have to be very careful to ensure that you put the E, although the E is silent. Okay, so despite the E being silent, the E has no sound in the word. You have to remember to put it. And always remember, in a way that you can spell this word, remember that you would see the word art in it, like drawing type of art. Always remember that you're going to see art in it. So you would remember that the E comes before the word art, right? The small word art. That's a very tricky way to learn how to spell the word correctly. Because some persons, they would misspell it by putting the A first and then the E after. So you have to be very careful that you're not going to do this, okay? This would be incorrect. Our next word is Atlantic. 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 And you know what the word hat mean, right? Sorry, I did not do the meaning for hat. Hat actually is a shape, okay? It's a shape. And it can also refer to that body part that pumps blood throughout our body. Another thing that heart can mean, it can mean that core or that prime area of something, because the heart is where everything is. So it's that prime or core area of something. And it also can be a shape, and it can also be that part of the body that pumps blood around your body. Okay, so the word Atlantic now refers to a region, right? A region that you call the Atlantic. And that region is where you have the Atlantic Ocean. So if you look on your map, you're going to see that the Atlantic region has the Atlantic Ocean, right? All right. So our next word is the word ocean. We see O, sh, the C and the E go together in this word. Very unpopular, but yes, they go together in this word to make the song sh, S-N-H, sound sh. And then the A-N makes the sound an or a rhyme an. Together, it is a small word, like when you say an apple, an egg, an animal, an eagle, any word that begins with a vowel, basically, you would always use an to refer to it. All right, so when we put this word together, we actually have the word, hi Marina, we actually have the word O, sh, the S-N-H, where the C-E makes the S-N-H sound, and an, O, sh, an, ocean. And because it's more, because ocean here owns something, we have an apostrophe S to show that it owns something. So we'll say oceans, oceans. All right. What other word do we find difficult to call? So we ended it there. We're going to call this one, this one right here, T&R, true, up, and INC, ick, ick. Just like in Atlantic, we hear the INC make the sound ick. That's a very popular English rhyme. A lot of words end with that sound. So we have true, up, trop, and ick. Then we add the S, tropics, tropics. Our next word is a very familiar word. On TNH, we put our tongue between our teeth here in this one. On month, month. We add the S, we get the word months, months. Remember, months would be like January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. Those are the months. Okay. All right. June, the U makes a sound saying you, and the E is at there and silent. Sorry, not you. It says U. The U in June says U. So we hear J, un, J, un, June. The E is silent. Then our next word is N, O. The O in no. November, we hear no. So we hear that small word no. The O is making a long song. Then we hear V. And then M, them. And B, B, Together, that word says November, November, November. Remember, ER, despite it says the Americans would roll it a bit to say while in British English, you would hear the ER making a schwa sound, which basically says All right, so now we can read through this whole part of it. And remember, we have done this before. It's just revision. It's just us reviewing it because we want to be able to call the words today. So now that we have done all the words, we are going to be reading through. So we are going to be following the yellow mark, and we are going to try to read our words first, one by one. Then after that, we are going to be reading through the whole passage. So our first one is numerous, numerous. Let's say together, numerous. Our next one is tempestuous, tempestuous. All right. For some, it seems as though the color is not showing, so I'm gonna try to lift the color, okay? Numerous, Numerous. I don't know, my TikTok friends are not seeing the colors. I'm so sorry. Numerous. Numerous. Our next one, tempestuous. Remember, temp, est, you, and us. Tempestuous. Numerous means many. Tempestuous means when something is wild, stormy, or turbulent. Tale, tale, and tale is a story. Natures, natures, natures. Hurricane, hurricane, hurricane. Brood, brood, brood. Hundreds, hundreds, hundreds. Years, years, years. Today, today, today. People, people, people. We're doing well so far. Wonder, wonder, wonder. Mysteries, 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 mysteries. Swirling, 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 swirling. Hot, hot, hot. Atlantic, 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 Atlantic. Oceans, 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 oceans. Tropics, 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 tropics. Months, 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 months. June, 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 June. November, 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 November. All right, so we have mastered calling all the words. Now let's read them. Let's read them. Let's read them together. There are numerous tempestuous tales of nature's force hurricane that were brewed hundreds of years ago. Still today, people wonder about the mysteries of the swirling winds over the heart of the Atlantic's warm waters in the tropics during the months of June to November. All right. So if you think you got that, then that's very good. Let's just do it one more time. One more time, guys. One more time. Then we are going to move on to what we wanted to learn for today. Okay. As I said, this is actually where the passage starts. It's just so that you are able to understand the situational context of the story. Okay, when we start reading the story. Let's go ahead and read it one more time. This time, we try to be more fluent so that we can understand what we are reading. There are numerous tempestuous tales of nature's force, hurricane, that were brewed hundreds of years ago. Still today, people wonder about the mysteries of the swirling winds over the heart of the Atlantic's warm waters in the tropics during the months of June to November. Should we go one more time? Guys, please comment in the comment section. Comment in the comment section. Should we read it one more time? And please share the live with someone who you know may want to learn this also. You know, it's a good thing to share it with somebody who you know might want to learn how to read these words also. Okay, so this time I'm going to remove all the clues, and we are going to see how well we are going to read without the clues. All right? We are going to see how well we can read without the clues. All right. Okay. Are we ready to go now? I think we are. So let's go ahead and read now without the clues. Let's see how well we have it. There are numerous tempestuous tales of nature's force, hurricane, that were brewed hundreds of years ago. Still, today, people wonder about the mysteries of the swirling winds over the heart of the Atlantic oceans, warm waters in the tropics during the months of June to November. All right, so this story is actually just an introduction here, where we are talking about there are many stories that were told of hurricane, and these stories, they are as far dated as 100 years ago, and even in the present now, people are wondering about the secrets, or they're wondering about the unsolved problem of the swirling winds, which is the hurricane, right? That normally is over the Atlantic Ocean, and it's normally over the warm waters in the Atlantic. And the time that it's normally there is in the months of June to November, right? So that's our hurricane season. And that's when the hurricane is normally there in the month of June to November. Okay, so now that we have unfolded what the story is all about, we are going to move on to the next part. Remember what each word means so that you can, if you learn them later. Hi, Adele. How are you doing? Thank you so much for joining. Please tap, please share. We appreciate you being here. All right, so we're going to continue by, hi Z. We're going to continue by this time. We're going to move on to part 2 of our story about hurricanes. Remember, our story is about hurricane, guys. And I don't know, guys, my camera just seems to freeze on one part. Is there a problem? So I have to swipe left to close. How do I get this done? Guys, I'm not sure what's happening. Is it because I'm coming live on here? I don't know. Hold on. I'll have to change. I don't really want to flip my camera. Ready to go. Fully ready. Hold on. I would have to flip my camera. I don't know. What is this, you guys? This keeps saying I've lost connection, but my connection is on. I don't know. It keeps saying I've lost connection. And I'm seeing you guys coming in and out, but I'm not sure what is the problem. Those on YouTube, I'm so sorry. I'm actually talking to those on TikTok. I'm not sure what is the problem. Maybe I have to end the live and restart. Um, let me see, guys. If I put in the background, if it's gonna work. No, just not. There's nothing seems to work. I'm gonna end the live and start it over. Sorry, guys. This is for those who are on TikTok. I'm streaming on both platforms. Let's see how that will go now. All right, guys. I am so sorry for what we just experienced a while ago. But let's begin. I hope that you guys can see everything now, and I'm so sorry. So we're going to look for the words that are difficult to pronounce. As I've said before, that is the main part of reading. Whenever you're going to read, always look for words that look challenging to you, that you think that, hey, I would not be able to pronounce these words because I'm not familiar with them. They look very strange or they look very difficult. Always look for those words first. Glance over them and try your best to song them out if you need to. All right. And then look for words that in your vocabulary that has those same ending, those same beginnings that you can actually say. Like, for example, if you see this word hurricane, you know this small word is keen. The E at the end is silent. The A says A. And then you know the word hurry, right? Here, the I is actually making the song like E. It's actually making the E song, which the Y in hurry would make. So that's how we get the word hurry here. But this is not the correct spelling for the real word hurry. The I is actually representing the song there, E. So hence you know that this word is hurry, her, and re, and cane, hurricane, hurricane. And what other word what might we find difficult? We recognize that that word is also here. So when we are reading, because we have the word appearing more than once, we can be fluent because we have already tracked where we are going to meet the word. Okay, and then this word, we have al, p, and h in English make one song together. They say using the F song. So we hear alf and then ab, like in the word cab, and nab and dab and lab. Yeah. So we have, you can say this part is fab when you put all these together because the PH make the sound f. And then we have et, like in the word bet, met, het, ret, all those words. Let, you find that small rhyme, et. So always remember your rhymes are important to help you to call words. So we have al, fa, b, alphab, and et, alphabet, alphabet, alphabet. Always remember That's our word, alphabet. Alphabet. Okay. So if you guys see any more words that might be too difficult for you to call, let me know. So I'm just gonna call this word, though it looks like an easy word, because sometimes I'm not sure who we have. So some of us may not be able to call it. In this case, we have let, the small word let. We hear l, et, let. And then we have let, letter, letter, letter. Remember, ER in British English, you would actually say oh, like a schwa sound. In American English, you will hear where it rolls like that. So letter, letter, and letter can be of two forms. It can have letter, as in all these letters that we have on the screen, like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, or we can have letter like a mail, a mail. So an envelope that has something in it, you would call it a letter. Something that is written in it, you would call it a letter. Right? The word alphabet refers to when we say A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P. Those letters in English, we call them alphabet letters. All right? So those letters in English, we call them alphabet letters. So you know what the alphabet is. Okay? And alphabet is those letters that are in the English language. Those letters that makes up English language, like A, B, C, D, A to Z. Yeah, that's the alphabet basically. And what are the words? So this is a word that we might want to call to. We have re. In English, re together can say re. It's normally used as a prefix, as a beginning for words, and it would help to change the meaning of the word. So here we can see this small word, use. Use, the E at the end is silent. The U makes the long song, U. So we hear use, the E silent. And we add the D to it, we have used, used. So use would be in the present, used would be in the past. Used would be in the past, okay? Use in the present and used in the past. All right, guys. So now that we know all that, we're going to add re and used together as one word, and we'll get the word reused. Reused, reused, reused. When you reuse something, it means that you use it again. The prefix re means to use again. The prefix re means to use again. So if you've never heard that prefix before, re, it means to use again. So when somebody say to reuse something, they're actually telling you to use it again, because re means again. All right, if you think you got it, then that's lovely. If you think you need more explanation, let me know in the comments section. All right, so now we're going to be reading through all these words. We're going to be reading through all these words. But before we do that, we are going to call the words again. We would call the words again and make sure that we now are able to call each word. We're going to make sure that we are able to call each word. Don't forget, we're going to make sure that we can call each of them. The first one, hurricane, hurricane, hurricane. Next one. Letter. 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 Say it with me. Letter. Letter. Next one. Alphabet. 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 Next one. Reused. 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 All right. Do you think you know them now when you're reading through? It's going to be easy for you. If you don't know this one says OR together says or, d, and ER says or, d, order, order, order. And when you put something in order, it means that you are putting it in a way that it appears like in a fashion where each part that is supposed to come before one another is before one another, or like it is arranged in a particular way, in a special way. Or it could be also considered as a sequence or layout. So when you order something, you can sequence it, which means you're putting it in the order maybe of by ranking them, which one should come first, which one should come second, right? You're doing that. Or it can be in a case where you are arranging them in a special way, right? So some of the most common ways that we arrange things or we sequence things in our everyday life here is that, please tap the screen, guys. Thank you so much. Those of you who are with me, tap the screen. Thank you. We would normally sequence things in a way of alphabets. We can also sequence in a way of numbers, using numbers. Most of the times, those are the most common ways that we would sequence or order things. Okay? But things can also be ordered in different ways, right? They can be ordered in other ways that we might not be so familiar with. Okay, so now we are going to read through our sentence. We're going to read through our sentence. I think most of the other words you'll be very familiar with, like this word name, where the E is silent and the A says E. You'll most likely be familiar with that word, name, name. And that word, we have that word 2 times in our reading. So you find it these 2 times. So always look for words that are repeated when you're reading also, because it would help you in terms of allowing you to read fluently. When words are repeated and you can spot them, it allows you to read fluently. Okay? All right. So if we have all that together, I think we are doing very well. So now let's go ahead and we are going to try to read now. We're going to try to read. There's a word that I don't know if you might find this word difficult, but I want to be very careful in case you may find it difficult. This word would. So we have W making the sound W, the O saying O. There. Sorry, guys. I just made a blunder with the mark. So let's take it off. The W makes the sound W. The O makes the sound O. The U and the L, they're silent. So we hear the D. Together we say W, would, would, would. And this wood, it's not like wood as in the material. It's not the material wood. This wood is actually an action. It's an action word, right? For example, if I ask, would you get me some sweeties, or would you try to help me with something, right? Or if I say like the dog would be away for some days, right? I could use it in the past tense, as in the past tense for the word will. That's how I can use it for the past tense for the word will. Or I can use it to show some sort of condition or mood, right? That would say like there is going to be a punishment, or there's going to be a consequence for some sort of thing that I have done, or yeah, for something that I've done. I can use it in that way too. All right. So if you guys got that, then I think we are pretty much okay now to read. Okay, so we're gonna practice. We're gonna practice now. Let's go ahead and practice. We're gonna practice. So let's begin. Let's begin, guys. Every hurricane comes with a name from the letter A. The dash is actually saying to Z or Z. You know, the Americans would say Z, the British would say Z. From A to Z or from A to Z, whichever one you choose to say. Using the order of we'll say the. Anytime we use this word and it comes before a word that begins with a vowel, in this case, we have a word that begins with a vowel there. Anytime we use that word and it comes before a word with a vowel, we are going to use the word the. So always remember this word, whenever it is used before a word that begins with a vowel, we say the. The alphabet. If a hurricane was bad, the name would not be reused. All right, let's try it again. Let's try it again, guys. Let's try it again. And this time, we are going to read in phrases. Just now, we were reading word by word. Word by word, we were reading. Now we're going to be reading in phrases. Okay? And phrases means that we're going to read using one or two letters. That's how we're going to read, using one or two letters. Sorry, not letters, words. Words. One or two words. Or three, right? Depending on how you guys want to go. Okay? So let's read in phrases now. Every hurricane comes with a name from the letter A to Z. I say Z because I'm using British English. If you are using American English, then you would say Z. All right? Using the order of the alphabet. If a hurricane was bad, the name would not be reused. All right. So we get there. We're getting there, are we? If you get in there, type yes in the comment section, guys. If you get in there, type yes in the comment section. I know a lot of you guys don't like to type in the comment section, you know. But if you get in there, come on, type in the comment section. Let me know that you are getting there, guys. I want to know that you're getting there, right? For those of you who are on TikTok, yes, we are playing a match. And I appreciate you guys for playing that match, right? So guys, please tap the screen to play the match. Please tap the screen to play the match. Those of you on TikTok, tap the screen to play the match. I don't know, TikTok seems to be operating all over the place tonight, guys, but it's fine. All right, so tap the screen, guys. Let's play the match with our friends. Tap the screen. Okay, so our friends went. Okay, that's fine. All right, guys. So let's now practice to read our sentence in the best way that we can by trying to read very fluently. Reading fluently is very important because it would help you in understanding what you're reading. So your vocabulary would come alive once you understand what you are reading. So now we're going to be trying our best to read it fluently, which means that would help us to show that we understand what we are reading and we are able to read it like a boss. Read it like a boss. You know, some people say that they can read like a boss. So let me tell you, when somebody says, I can read like a boss in English, it simply means that they are telling you that they can read very well. They can read very well. So if I come to you and I say, hey, you know, I can read like a boss, then it means that I'm saying to you that I can read very well. All right. So you have also learned something there that whenever someone says to you that they can read like a boss, it means that they can read very well. So that's how I want us to learn to read, guys. I want us to learn to read like a boss, which means you can read so well. Okay? So you guys are going to promise me that you're going to learn how to read like a boss. Promise me, guys, that you're going to learn how to read like a boss. That's what we're going to do, right? So you're going to learn how to read like a boss. You think? Hey, you think you can learn to read like a boss, guys? All right. And if anybody's here who wants to come up on screen to read, please don't hesitate. Send a request to come up on screen to read, guys. That's what I want you to do. I want you to send a request to come up and read on screen. You don't have to show your camera. You just come up and read on screen. Okay? You don't need to show your camera, guys. You can just come up on screen and read. This practice would also be good for you. Okay, so let's just go through what we are reading. Every hurricane comes with a name from the letter A to Z using the order of the alphabet. If a hurricane was bad, the name would not be reused. And recently, the Caribbean was affected by the hurricane Beryl. So it means in the future, Beryl would no longer be used as a hurricane name. Even the US also was affected by the hurricane Beryl, right? And we are still in the months. Remember the months that we spoke about when we began? June to November. those are the months for hurricane. So we are still in those months, and so we have to look out for other hurricanes because we are just at B. The one with A was not bad, but the one with B was bad. So the next hurricane would be one with C. So the next one to come, they would give it a name that begins with C, like Ciara, or they might give it a name that begins with C, like Carl, those names. Okay. But if it's a name that was used before and the hurricane was bad, I think Carl was once a bad hurricane before some years ago, so that name would not be reused. All right, so let's go ahead and read it fluently now, which means we have learned the words and we just know how to read it fluently. Remember, we're going to try to keep the pace. Let's go. Every hurricane comes with a name from the letter A to Z using the order of the alphabet. If a hurricane was bad, the name would not be reused. All right. I made a mistake. Can anybody tell me what that mistake was? I made a mistake while reading. Please type in the chat, tell me what the mistake was. Which one of the words did I call incorrectly? I called one of the words incorrectly. All right, I don't see anybody typing. Remember, guys, if you want to come up and read, you can do so too. Just alert me by typing yes in the comment section that you want to come up and read. All right. So this word I called it incorrectly. I said duh. This word, remember, once it's followed by a word that begins with a vowel, I am going to use the. Okay? So I called that word incorrectly. So now let's read again and ensure that we call it correctly this time. And I'm going to remove the clues from the screen. I'm going to remove the clues from the screen. I'm going to remove the clues from the screen. If there are anyone out there who want to come up and read, be sure to come up and read with us. And that would be you practicing how to read in English. So remember, we have learned all the words and now we are just practicing to be fluent. So let's go ahead and read. Hi, King Boss. Hi, Alex. Thank you guys so much for joining. So let's see if we can read through it very fluent this time without any mistakes. Every hurricane comes with a name from the alphabet A to Z using the order of the alphabet. If a hurricane was bad, the name would not be reused. All right, let's try it one more time. And I made a few mistakes there. Can anybody highlight the mistakes that I've made? Can you highlight the mistakes that I've made? All right, I'm going to read it one more time. Every hurricane comes with a name from the letter A to Z using the order of the alphabet. If a hurricane was bad, the name would not be reused. All right. So what do we understand from this? What do we understand from this? Remember, if anybody wants to come and read it, or you want to call words to make sure that you've learned the words like hurricane, or you want to call words like letter, just to ensure that you've learned what they are. Alphabet, reused, would, name. If you are interested in just calling words to ensure that you've learned them, order, every. All right. If you are interested in coming to call the words, that would be nice. So we can see that you guys have learned the words. Okay? We want to know that you have learned them. I am always interested in knowing that my learners or my viewers that they have learned the words. If you have mastered them, just let me know. And please, guys, comment in the comment section. Just comment in the comment section, let me know. Anybody who wants a request from YouTube or TikTok, if you want a request to come up, you can do that. You can read. All right. So we're just going to read it one more time fluently, and then we're going to move on to the next set of words. Okay. So we would move on from here to the next set of words. It's just to ensure that we have mastered the words. Every hurricane comes with a name from the letter A to Z, or Z if you are speaking American English, using the order of the alphabet. If a hurricane was bad, the name would not be reused. And we spoke about that before. We said, hi, Relene. We said that, hi, Arman. How are you doing? Where you guys from? Please comment in the comment section where you're from. We said already that in the case of Beryl, which is a hurricane that affected the Caribbean and even the United States this year, and also Mexico and those regions, that hurricane would not have a name. Another hurricane would not be named Beryl again in the future because that hurricane was bad. It affected so many countries and caused so many damage that they would not use it again. All right. So that's what we were reading there. So now we have a total new screen. We have some new words to learn. These words are very long. I know when you see long words, sometimes it turns you off. You don't want to read anymore. However, there are some words that are there that we have done before. All right, so it should be very easy for us to take a run through. Anybody who wants to read, come up and feel free to read aloud. You don't have to use your camera, just your voice, and we'll be good. So we have done this word. We separated it into parts. We have the word keen, like a stick that is being used by maybe a policeman. They use that to do their job. Also, like candy cane, those sweets that we eat at Christmas time. And then we have the word hurry, but spelled with a Y, and the Y makes the E sound. So we say hurry. Okay. So we have the word hurry and cane, hurricane. Hi, Shelroy. Hi, Omix. How are you guys doing? Thank you so much for being here. So the word that we've already learned here is hurricane. That's the word. We also learn very because we saw it in the word every. Okay, just a while ago we did the word every that had an E, VRE, right? We had that same word, but however, it was every where we added an E at the beginning. We take off the E, we have very, very. So this word says very. And always be sure to notice how many times your word appear in your reading. And this would help you to be very fluent. So we have very appearing 2 times in our reading. 2 times in our reading. All right, let's look for other words that might be difficult. TH in this word makes the sound tongue between our teeth. We hear okay. So we have p, a, pa, path, 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 path. When we use the word path, what are we saying? So this path it's like a road, or it's like a route, it's like a track, right? So if I say I'm going to walk down the path, then I'm saying that I'm going to walk down the track, or I'm going to walk down the trail, or I can say I'm going to, the path is nearly like an alley, or I'm going down the alley. Those are other words that we can use to mean the same as path. All right. Those are other words we can use to mean the same as path. Okay, please tap the screen, guys. Thank you. Make your contributions when you come into the live by tapping, sharing. We would definitely appreciate that by commenting. That's how we're going to know that this is benefiting you. So this word says path. Remember path here? It's not like the word path with a AR. That means pieces, when you have things in pieces. This one means when you have things in pieces, not this one. Instead, we are looking for the one with TH, which means path, like when you have a track or a road, a narrow road, you would call it a path. Okay. All right. This big word, we can break it up in parts to call it. We have on, we have pre, and pre is a prefix that is used in a lot of English words. It actually goes before words to change their meaning. And pre, anything that you hear has pre would mean that it comes before something. It comes before something. So pre means before, like for example, prepare. Prepare is something that you would do beforehand. Preschool, preschool. Preschool would be something that you would attend, a school that you would attend before you go into the well, what we'll say as in the major school, the main school, or the primary school. You would go to a preschool before you can go to a primary school. So pre as a suffix mean before, like prepare, preschool, all those words. Here we have dict, dict. So we have predict, predict. So this whole part is predict, predict. And what does the word predict means? Anybody knows what the word predict means? Think about it. And then we have ab and o. L and E together in English makes the song o, o. So we have ab, o, ab, o, abo, abo, abo. So this says abo. In some words, it can say able. It can say able, like disable, disable. So in some words, it can say able. But in this word, it is saying able, able. So let's put the word now together. On predict, able. Unpredictable, unpredictable, unpredictable. What does the word unpredictable mean? Well, unpredictable would mean that it is something that you are not able to tell that it's going to happen before it happens. All right? So something that is unforeseen, you would refer to it as unpredictable. Something that is unsure, you would refer to it as unpredictable. Something that is unstable, you can also refer to it as unpredictable. So anytime something is unpredictable, it means that it is unsure, or you cannot tell that is going to happen, or it can change, right? It can change at any time. All right, let's look for more words that you find very difficult to call. So another word that we find difficult to call is this one. All right. So we can hear the plane there. All right. Okay. So we're not gonna make the plane stop us from going on. We're gonna continue, guys. And please, guys, tap the screen. Comment in the comment section, guys. Tap the screen, comment. Let me know where you're watching from so we can know how to improve in terms of our usage of the language to make sure that those who are learning as a second language that you are really benefiting from it. You know, I can slow down for you also, right? Those who know the language already and just are working to, improve like maybe vocabulary and so on, that would be different for them. Okay, so let's go to this word. So this word says is, this. Then we have tru, 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 up, and then tiv, tiv. IVE in words, it can say I've, like hive, and it can say if, like in words like live. In words like live, you hear if. In words like thrive, you would hear I've, or hive, you hear I've. Okay? So you have to be very careful when you are reading these words. Don't underestimate how to pronounce them. Always be very careful with them. So let's go ahead and keep going. So we hear this, true, this true, up, destruct, and if, destructive, destructive. What does the word destructive mean? What does the word destructive mean? When you hear something or someone, because they sometimes refer to people as being destructive, right? If someone or something is being referred to as destructive, what does it mean? All right, so you guys, if you know it in the comment section, you can type it, that would be really helpful. If you know it, hi, satisfying football, how are you? It would be very helpful if you type it in the comment section to show that you know it. So destructive, it actually means when you damage something, when it causes like great damage to something, that's when somebody would say you are destructive. Or when you have ruined something, you would be called destructive. Or when you have injured someone, or when you have injured someone or maybe an animal, you would be called destructive. If you have wounded somebody, you would be called destructive. If you have been violent to them, you can also be called destructive. If you were hurtful, or if something is harmful to you, it would be called destructive. All right, so those are the different words or different ways that we can say destructive other than using the word destructive. You think you got it, guys? I hope you do. Yeah. Guys, I would love to see you guys commenting in the comment section to show that you are learning the words, even if you just say yes. So this word, we have O and A together. O and A says O. The O makes a sound, the A is silent. Together, we hear them say O. Then we have S and T, st, and al, stal. When we put them together, we have the word O, st, al. Let's put it together. O, st, al. So this word says O, coast, coast, coast. So this is the root word, coast. And then we have al, coastal, coastal, coastal. And when we talk about coastal region, or when we use coastal, as in we say, okay, people are living on the coastal side of the island, what are we really talking about? What we are trying to say is that they're living on the coast, that they're living on the coast. Just a while ago, I show you the root word coast, and coast would mean the part of the land that is near to the sea. The part of the land that is near to the sea, or the part of the land that is near to the seashore, or the part of the land that is next to the beach, if you say beach, that is what we call the coastal part, or the part of the land that is next to the waterfront. So any one of those that you would use in your everyday speech, it's fine, and that's what coast would mean. That part of the land that is next to the sea, next to the beach, or next to the waterfront. That's what you would call the coast. All right? And so we would refer to that as the coastal area. We would refer to that as the coastal area. The part of the land that is next to the beach, or next to the seashore, or next to the sea, or the waterfront. All right, our next word, we have a, short I sound, a, two L together, one song, So we have vil, vil. Whenever G comes before E, I, or Y, we hear a song like J. So we're going to hear the J song, J, and the E is going to be silent. The A now going to get some power from the E, to call its name. So this one, we're going to hear the A say A. That's where the A is calling its own name. So we hear A, age, age. So in this word, we have a small word, age. And age is a word that would speak to how old you are. How old you are, that would be your age. Let's put the two parts of the word now together. Age, age, village, village. So our whole word now is village. And what is a village? What is a village? A village is similar to a community, or it is a community. It is where people live, where they settle. You call it a village. All right. What other word might we have difficulty with? We might have difficulty with this word in, and then ER says because we have two letters that are the same. Remember, only make one sound for the two letters that are the same, okay? So we hear in and inner. What does the word inner means? If I say that my dad lives in the inner city, my dad lives in the inner city, then it would mean that he lives deeper in the city, right? So he lives at the deep part of the city. He lives more inside of the city, all right? And here we have C before I. Anytime C comes before I, E, or Y, it makes a sound like S. So that's why we're going to have city making the song like S. We're going to have S. Then we have the small word it. It. So here we have the word sit. Just mean it spells with a C because the C is making a song like S. So we hear sit, and Y at the end can say I or E. In this word, we hear E. E. So we hear sit, E, city. 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 So our word there is city. City. And thank you guys, all of you who are here. Thank you so much for being here. Please tap the screen. Those of you who are on TikTok, those of you who are on Facebook, please like and share. Also, please comment in the comment section. Remember, if any one of you want to come up to read the words or to pronounce the words, to call them as practice, that would be very good for your learning. And so you can do that. Just send a request. Okay, guys. All right. So our final word, we already know that word. We already know that word. Our problem is that we have added S. That's all we did. So remember, this word is the same like this one. Always look for words that might just be the same. We have added S to it. So we said up here the word is village. So what is it going to be down here now that we have added S? When we have added the S, it would be village is. Villages. Villages. Village is. Villages. Villages. So our word now becomes more than one. Once we add the S, our word becomes more than one. So our word is villages. Villages. All right, so we have studied all the words, guys. We have studied all the words. We have studied all the words. Now let's try to read them fluently. Are you ready to read them fluently? Let me know. If you are ready to read them fluently, type yes, 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 yes in the comments. Go ahead and just type yes, yes, yes in the comment section. Please go ahead and type yes. Let's see your yeses in the comment section, guys. Let's see your yeses in the comment section if you're ready to read them fluently. Because I am ready to read them fluently with you now that we have done all the words. Let's go ahead and read. The path of a hurricane is very unpredictable. It can be very destructive to coastal villages as well inner city villages. So this part, there's an error here. This was supposed to be as well as inner city villages. Okay, so that's a correction. So let's go ahead and let's call the harder words one more time, or the difficult words one more time, and then we're going to read the whole thing from the top. Path, path, hurricane, hurricane, very, very, unpredictable, unpredictable, destructive, destructive, coastal, 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 village, village, inner, inner, city, city, villages, 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 All right. So by now, I'm thinking that we all know the words. That's my thinking, okay? It does not mean that my thinking is right. It does not mean that my thinking is right. So you guys are going to show me that my thinking is right by trying your best to ensure. So guys, we're having some problems with our camera staying on the mount. Let's try to, hold on. Try to, all right. I'm so sorry, guys. That's because our um device needs charging. That we have to relocate it a bit. All right. Okay. So we're close to finish. We'll be done soon. So I'm going to erase, guys, all the marks that helps us to remember the words, and we are going to go through them, see how well you have learned the words. Let's see how well we have learned the words. Let's see, guys. Thank you, those of you who are here. Thank you for being here. If anybody wants to come up and have a conversation about hurricanes, that would be very good. Now that we have learned about hurricanes. So if there's anyone who wants to come up and have a conversation about hurricanes, that would be very good. Hurricanes is what people in China, they would call, and Taiwan, normally they would call them typhoons. So it's basically a typhoon. All right, let's now go ahead and read fluently since we have read the words one by one and we think we have mastered them now. We're going to be reading fluently. The path of a hurricane is very unpredictable. It can be very destructive to coastal village as well as inner city villages. Remember, I told you guys this is supposed to say as well as. So I'm going to take off this S and I'm going to just insert the word as right here so that we'll know that we're reading this word right in here. All right. So let's go ahead and let's read it one more time. Now, don't be afraid to read aloud, guys. Wherever you are, read aloud. Okay? Let's read it one more time. The path of a hurricane is very unpredictable. It can be very destructive to coastal village as well as inner city villages. All right. If there's anyone who wants to try to read it, please, guys, don't hesitate. Come up on screen and read with me. If there's anyone who wants to have a conversation about hurricanes, you want to talk about hurricanes, also be my guest. You can come up on screen and talk. You do not have to show your camera, but you can come up on screen and let's have a conversation about hurricanes. So send a request, guys, if you want to read about hurricanes. Yeah. We're going to read it one more time, guys. To master, remember, we try to read each set of words as up to 4 or 5 times. So that way we can master the words. The path of a hurricane is very unpredictable. It can be very destructive to coastal village as well as inner city villages. Hi, Pak. How are you doing? Good to have you here in the live. Nice to see you. Anybody who wish to read with me or wish to have a conversation about what we were reading about? We were reading about hurricanes. If you wish to have a conversation about hurricanes, for those of you who are in Asia and those places, you would know it as a typhoon. Okay? You will know it as a typhoon. So if you wish to have a conversation on that, please send the request. Let's talk about it. Okay, please, guys, if you wish, send the request. Let's talk about it. All right, so it seems as though all my batteries are running low at the same time. But that's fine. We're going to read it one more time to make sure that we're very fluent in this reading, and then we're going to stop right there for today. All right, so let's go ahead and try to read it one more time. And try to keep very fluent, guys, as fluent as you can. The path of a hurricane is very unpredictable. It can be very destructive to coastal village as well as inner city villages. We're going to read it one more time just to ensure that we have done it well. The path of a hurricane is very unpredictable. It can be very destructive to coastal village as well as inner city villages. If you were able to do that, guys, you did an awesome job. Let's just call the bigger words again. Hurricane, path, unpredictable, destructive, coastal, village, inner city. Remember, when we add the S to village, we hear villages, which means it's more than one. All right, guys, you did an awesome job paying attention to all this, and I hope that you did learn how to read the words. You also were able to understand the vocabulary and that you would remember all the vocabulary that we have practiced, the meaning for the word path, which means a track or a road. It's like a small road or a track. Hurricane, that's where we have winds of over 150 miles per hour raging through our area. And this is normally formed over warm waters, especially like in the Caribbean, where you have the Atlantic Ocean that is normally warm. Unpredictable means when something is unstable, when something is unforeseen, you are not sure that it will happen, so you are unsure about it, that this thing can change. That's when you call it unpredictable. Destructive, that's when something can cause great damage. You would call it destructive. Anything that is destructive would cause great damage. Coastal, it means when the area that is closest to the sea. So the land area that is closest to the sea or to the waterfront or next to the beach, that's what you call coastal. A village is where you have people living like a community. People have settled there. You would call it a village. Inner would mean at the deep part of something, the deep part of something, or like at the middle part of something, inside of something, you would use the word inner. Hello, those of you who are joining, thank you. City The city is actually the urban area, or it is the town. So other words that we can use to say city, we can use the word urban, we can use the word town. And villages means that it is more than one village, which means that you have more than one area where there are many persons living, or many families living, or have settled. All right. So I do hope that you understand what all the words mean and that you are able to use them. Now that we have finished reading, tomorrow, Lord's will, we would come back and we would do another session on hurricanes. We'll read some more on hurricanes, and then after that, we'll close with hurricanes, and then we'll go on to a new topic. If there are any new topics that you want us to read about, please comment it in the comment section. And also, please, guys, I would want you to make sure that you watch other videos on the channel that can help you to learn the vocabulary words, also to learn how to break down bigger words so that you can learn the words and learn how to pronounce them fluently so that you can keep practicing. So just keep practicing, and anyone who still want to come up and talk about hurricanes, which was our topic for today, please, guys, let me know. Just type me in the comment section and I'll send you a request and I would take you up to read what is on the screen or to have a conversation. So both of us, we can talk about hurricanes. We can talk about our experiences with hurricanes. If you have not experienced a hurricane, but you have experienced like a tornado or a typhoon, those are really close to a hurricane. And so we can talk about them too. Okay. So let me know, guys. I'm just giving you a few seconds. Anyone want to come? Let me know. Anyone want to come? Rolling one, rolling twice. No one want to come? All right, guys. So I'm not seeing anyone sending their requests. And so I am just going to leave that right there. And I hope that you guys will keep practicing. And please, guys, when you come on the live, you should always try to like the live. You know, it's the least you can do when you come to watch or to gain new knowledge. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope that I can see you guys again soon, a little bit later on, to read more words and that you guys are understanding and learning it thus far. All right, so I'll see you guys until then. Have yourself a good day if it's daytime where you are, or a good night if it's nighttime where you are, and stay blessed, guys, and may God bless you. Just keep blooming, keep blooming, 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 and bloom in love and by God's grace. I'll see you guys soon. Take care now. All right, guys. So we're gonna end right there because I'm not getting anybody to come up and request, guys. We would not continue without anyone coming up. Thank you so much for being here, guys. See you again soon.